Hi everyone, Drecky here, and this is the video quality review for the SJCam SJ360 Plus. So I was just heading home from the post office, as you can see, and I figured that this would be the perfect time to do the video quality review because we got some bright sun behind me, some real nice color in the foreground, and overall it is a fantastic day for filming. The problem is that 360-degree video is still somewhat in its infancy. And this stitching two channels down to one doesn't exactly result in the best video quality ever. The reason is that this camera films two channels, one on one side and one on the other, in a 1080p video, and then when it's mixed to a single channel, the resolution is lowered from there because they're stitched together. That just means that the video quality it produces really isn't super fantastic, super sharp, or super detailed. If you're a stickler for video quality, this camera will not be for you. That's why you kind of would need 4K, because that would make up for the loss of resolution that comes from this sort of two-channel setup into one stream. The other camera that I used actually rendered the video into one long video. I think it's called Equilinear or something. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but unfortunately, I'm a little bit disappointed that SJCam didn't go for better hardware with their initial true 360 release, but I can kind of understand why. 360 video is in its infancy, and it's kind of like 3D television. Nobody knows whether it's going to take off, or I guess nobody knew whether it was going to take off, and 3D television didn't really, but I could see 360 video really taking off in the end because it is quite cool to be able to look around, especially as I'm riding my bike. Unfortunately though, these cheaper cameras just don't have the quality to keep me interested, at least. It means that I'm going to have to go out and buy them. So I'm going to try and hold this as still as I can while we're riding down here, just getting a little bit of speed. And you can see what the camera's like in speed. I made another video where I recommended not really using this camera as an action cam, and I do stand by that recommendation. Hello. Again, the resolution is just not there, and neither is the frame rate. Since this really only films at 1080p 30, and calling it 1080p 30 is kind of a joke, it's more like VGA. So even though the camera's a little bit exposed, it is one of the cheaper ways to get true 360 video because it has two image sensors built into the camera. And since the camera is housed entirely with one unit, it's not like other units where you're required to have it connected to a smartphone with Wi-Fi. You know, you can use an SD card with this one. Albeit, it is worth noting that in order to export it to a format that YouTube can read, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. I just wanted to see how the SJ360 Plus would react in situations where I'm going a little bit faster than walking speed, because I know the frame rate didn't seem to be a perfect 30 frames per second. But, you know, we'll have to see. It's cool to think that I don't have to look around though, in order for you to get the perspective that I want while I'm riding here. Just have to keep going, right?